Good morning, everyone. Got your coffee? I've got my coffee. So listen, I don't really have a lot to talk about today. Yesterday was a really busy day for me. I passed out senior bags to those people who called and needed them. And yesterday we had a little scuffle at the library pantry. There were two women arguing over corned beef hash, rather. I was like, I went up there and I had to tell them, I was like, it's not that deep. And then they started talking about the rules, and the rules said you're not supposed to take it all and you're supposed to save some. And the one lady said the other lady was not following the rules. And I was like, it's not that deep. I promise you, I got some more in the house. Let me go get it for you. And that solved that. But my goodness, it's hard out here. It's getting hard out here. Speaking of which, have you all heard that ICE is showing up at local food pantries? I'm hearing whispers that that they're setting people up that way. People are going to get food because they didn't get food stamps, and they're showing up. ICE is showing up. Now, if this is true, that is diabolical. This administration is so cruel. It's so crazy how fast this all happened. That's what takes my breath away. Excuse me. It's just how fast this all progressed. This level of cruelty. If we continue, us Americans, we Americans, if we continue to have this level of apathy for one another, for each other, we're not going to be able to get through 4 years of this. I mean, it's just devastating. Look at what's happening at airports. Flights are being grounded, and like I was saying the other day, it's not as simple as don't take a flight. I can see if, you were just going to take a little flight over, to Miami or someplace like that. Then yeah, you need to sit your ass down because now it's not the time. But people die, people get sick, people have custody agreements, people have job interviews, and this economy. I mean, there are reasons why people really have to get from point A to point B. And this man is just making a mess out of everything. And God, we told you so. Oh, who in their right mind? Because he was chaotic the first time. Who in their right mind would vote for this man again? Who in their right mind would want this? And the people who voted for him are being hurt. Look at the farmers. Look at how their biggest competition is Argentina. And look at what we just gave $20 billion to Argentina. It's so ass backwards. And in this country, the way everybody hates socialism, socialism. And the way so many people are just so no compassion for all those people who lost their SNAP benefits. Just no compassion. Even to the point where they're making fun and making jokes out of it. The level of apathy in this nation, we aren't going to make it. We aren't going to make it. And imagine reacting this way when only $36 of your little funky tax dollars go to SNAP, help people eat in this nation. Only $36 yearly. Meanwhile, millionaires and billionaires got the biggest tax break in American history recently. And we're footing the bill for that. But people ain't mad about that. They not mad about being exploited by the rich because they think some woman may be gaining the system because she gets SNAP benefits. And then the way y'all shopping cart check them, if they're buying snacks or soda or steak and lobster, the way y'all be nobody on SNAP benefits is living better than you all are. And yesterday I heard another creator say that she was one of those people that approved like those SNAP benefits. She was like a worker or a social worker or something, a SNAP benefit worker or whatever the proper title is. And she broke it on down, and I have always felt this in my heart of hearts too. It's not just because Black people have been able to qualify for these benefits. It's not just because Black people are getting them too, in addition to all the white people who need them. It's also because people are jealous of the fact that they can't get these benefits and other people qualify for them. But in their mind, somehow they think that if someone has a couple of lobster tails in their shopping cart and they're paying with them with SNAP benefits, that somehow they're living better than they are. And I promise you, if they qualify for SNAP benefits, they are not. They are not. It's just crazy. It's crazy. We don't have universal health care in this nation. But Israel, who we give all this money to, they do. We don't have free college tuition, but Israel, who we give all this money to, do. Why are we not mad about shit like that? I'm mad about shit like that. I thought this president said he was going to put American and Americans first. That's not putting Americans first. When nations that we are supporting have more socialism than we do, that's not putting America first. That's not even what I wanted to talk about today. You know what I really wanted to talk about today? I wanted to talk about the harm that some Black people do our community. Take, for instance, this last fuck up by Charlemagne the God. You know, I can't really say that I follow his show. I don't. I see snippets here and there on social media. There are some Black people that still, you know, go on his platform, and I kind of get it because you can reach a lot of Black people all at once. But Charlemagne the God, they really need to replace him because he is just not for Black people. If ever there was anybody that rides the fence, it's Charlemagne the God. I mean, the way I swear I wish he could hear my words right now. If anybody, any Black person ever rode the fence between being Black and being anti-Black, it's this motherfucker. He recently said, when talking to Miss Pat, I believe it was, that the Dems needed to give up, that the Dems already lost, and that healthcare was going to go up anyway. And when you're not informed, politically informed or politically savvy, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we all should know enough to be informed so that we can exercise our right to vote and, you know, do our civic responsibilities. But when you are that ill-informed and your platform is that big and it reaches those many Black people, and I'm not coming down on anybody. If you watch him, you watch him. If you enjoy him, you enjoy him. But the kind of Black people that gather, that are his core audience, they don't particularly tend to be the most informed Black people. You know what I'm saying? They enjoy the music from that station. You know, they just hear Blackness, and then he's got this microphone and he's got this voice, and his voice is very loud. And when he doesn't know what he's talking about, look, this is not, I can't stress this enough. This is not on the Dems. It's on the Republicans. I promise you it is. I say this to you as an independent. This is not on the Democrats. The Democrats need to hold firm. This is about health care. And this is about the Republicans going after your health care. And this is about the Republicans weaponizing food and poverty and making you so desperate for one that you will surrender the other. Healthcare. And let me tell you, people like Charlemagne the God, well, he's got enough money to pay for his healthcare, but what about all the Black people who listen to him? What about all the Black people who listen to him? You know, you may be young today, but the ancestors willing, You will grow to become old. And the older you become, the more dependent you are going to be on your health care. Me, I have chronic asthma. I have severe chronic asthma. One of my inhalers every month costs me about $300 out of pocket. Another one costs me almost $2. That's just 2 inhalers per month. And that's after insurance does their part. That's what I'm left with. Recently, they did go down. Thank you, Joe Biden. That was one of the few things, not one of the few things, but one of the last things he did exiting the office. Thank you, Joe Biden. That just kicked in for me. Remember that time when I told y'all I went to go pick up one of my prescriptions? And instead of it costing me $185, it cost me $95. And I drove off so freaking fast because I didn't want it to be no problems. Well, my other medications are coming back $0, zero copay. Thank you so much, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, Madam Vice President, for doing that for the American people. But the older you get, the more you're going to need your health care. That's all of us. And when you are on a fixed income and the day you stop working and you become on a fixed income, that shit is going to matter. When your medications are $5,000 a month, because these insurance companies are so fucking greedy, y'all. And you don't make that much a month. What happens if you get cancer? You will die because you can't afford to have cancer. You won't be able to afford your comorbidities. And as you become older, you will get them. You will experience things like high blood pressure. You will experience things, medical issues. And the fact that these Republicans don't mind killing people. Leslie Graham just said recently out of his mouth, America is great and we're killing all the right people. Senator for South Carolina. I can't stand them. This is the way they think. And the people that vote for them and keep putting them in office are allowing their pockets to be picked just so that they can look down on somebody else. And it's costing us all. And then you got somebody like Charlemagne the God, someone that a lot of black people listen to, out there giving people the wrong information because he don't know the difference between premiums and subsidies. If you heard what he said, he's grossly ill-informed. If you over the age of 30, you really shouldn't be listening. Like I'll say 35. I'll give y'all a little grace. If you're over the age of 35, you should have really outgrown the Breakfast Club at this point. You really should. And you should be really listening to people like Roland Martin. You know what I'm saying? People who have degrees and know what they're talking about and who has been doing this for a long time. And they have substance and proven track records. And they do research. And they have teams that do research. I'm glad to see that Charlemagne the guy is in therapy, but he needs more of it. And he needs more education. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you speak out of pocket like that, and you say something to so many black people that is so obviously wrong, you have a responsibility to then come back and say, what I said was incorrect, and this is the actual facts. He is a grifter. And he rides the fence. And remember what he said about Kamala Harris? And that was wrong, and it was ill-informed. It wasn't true. And all those black people listened to that. That was one of the reasons why that rumor took off like it did. Because all the black people that tuned into him and took his word as bond assumed he knew what he was talking about. And most of the time he don't. He need to stick to entertainment news and stay out of politics because he doesn't know enough to speak on politics. He doesn't. And black people need to be politically savvy. We need to be informed. And he ain't it. He ain't it. He is a grifter. And he is very, very dependent on the people that own that station, that owns that platform. And he has been grifting right, slowly but surely, for a long time now. And for that reason and that reason alone, black people, y'all can't listen to him. He is a black man, and as a black man, he is one of those black men with a mic that will mislead other black men. He will. Because they see him as someone to look up to. They listen to him. They think he knows what he's talking about, and he doesn't. And then the next thing you know, you're a black man voting for Donald Trump. Charlemagne the God is not for black people. I cannot say that enough. This man is not for black people. He's not. That is all that I have to say today. If you would like to support the Library Pantry, we could use it and we'd appreciate it. If you would like to buy me a cup of coffee, I'd appreciate it. Or if you would like to just support this platform and the work that I'm doing, I would appreciate it. I want you all to have a good day, a righteous day. Be safe. Don't be nobody's problem today. Help other black people just because you can today. I'll talk to you tomorrow.